Joyanna Duggar brought to tears by husband Austin. Counting on alum, Joyanna Duggar Forsyth gets emotional following her recent appearance on Duggar and Jeremy's podcast with her husband Austin. The married couple flew to California to spend time with Duggar and Jeremy. They talked about many things, including their lives during the show. However, Joyanna was brought to tears due to the statements her husband made. Keep reading to see what happened. Counting on. How are Joyanna Duggar and Austin Forsyth today? Joyanna and Austin have been busy with their growing family. The Counting On alums welcomed their third child, Duggar, in May 2023. Since then, Joyanna has documented her life as a mother of three on YouTube. However, she decided to quit YouTube in June 2024, explaining that she wanted to focus more on her kids. But despite her major decision, Joyanna remained in touch with the fans on social media and has been sharing her activities with Austin during their vacation in California. Joyanna brought to tears by husband Austin. Duggar and Jeremy recently released a clip from their latest podcast episode with Austin and Joyanna Duggar Forsyth. The clip features Jeremy asking Austin what it's like being married to Joyanna. According to the Counting On alum, she's everything he could have dreamt of. He was also amazed because he thought he got what he needed in life. But God slowly reveals who he actually needed. He added, "She's the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me." Duggar and Jeremy also said that Joyanna is one of their favorite people in the world. Joyanna later commented on the post with crying emojis, showing that she got emotional from her husband's message. Counting on. Joyanna Duggar and Austin Forsyth having a blast in California. Joyanna Duggar Forsyth also took to Instagram to share clips and pictures from some of the activities they did during their visit to Duggar and Jeremy in California. Duggar's daughters had a blast spending time with their cousins. They also visited local parks and restaurants. But what surprised many was Joyanna's stunning photos when she raided her sister's closet. She even thanked Duggar for the pants, sweaters, and a makeup bag. Joyanna Duggar Forsyth never considered herself an overly emotional person. Sure, she teared up at weddings and the occasional heartwarming movie, but she prided herself on being strong, on holding it together when life threw its curveballs. But on this particular evening, sitting across from her husband, Austin Forsyth, she found herself utterly speechless, tears brimming in her wide, expressive eyes. It had been a long day, with two little ones, Gideon and Evelyn, keeping her on her toes. Joy had barely had a moment to breathe. Motherhood was fulfilling, beautiful, and rewarding, but it was also exhausting. Austin had spent the day working on a renovation project, and by the time evening rolled around, Joy had assumed they would simply collapse into bed, too tired for anything else. But Austin had other plans. A thoughtful gesture. Joy, Austin had said that morning, brushing a kiss against her temple as she balanced Evelyn on her hip. "I've got something planned for tonight. Nothing fancy, but just be ready by 7. She had smiled, curiosity piqued. "Something planned," she repeated. "What do you mean?" His lips twitched, that familiar mischievous glint in his eyes. "Just trust me." And trust him, she did. At exactly 7 o'clock, Joy stepped into the living room to find Austin waiting with a knowing smile. The kids had been put to bed, and the house, usually filled with the sounds of giggles and toy cars crashing into furniture, was quiet. She expected maybe a movie night or a simple dinner at home, but as she stepped onto the porch, she saw a cozy setup in the backyard, twinkling fairy lights, a small fire pit, and a picnic blanket spread out with their favorite snacks. Joy let out a surprised laugh, pressing a hand to her chest. "Austin, what is all this?" He shrugged, but there was warmth in his eyes. "Just wanted to do something special for you. A night to remember." They sat together, the fire crackling softly, and reminisced about their early days of dating, the whirlwind of their wedding, and the adventure of becoming parents. And then Austin reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, folded piece of paper. Joy tilted her head. "What's that?" He cleared his throat, suddenly looking uncharacteristically nervous. I wrote you something." Joy's breath caught. Austin was a man of action, not words. He showed his love through hard work, through fixing things, through making sure their family was safe and provided for. To know that he had taken the time to write something down, it meant everything. Austin unfolded the paper and, in a steady voice, began to read. Joy, I know I don't say it enough, but I need you to know just how much you mean to me. Life with you has been the greatest adventure, and every single day, I thank God that I get to walk this path with you. You're the strongest, most beautiful, most incredible woman I know. You love our children with everything you have, and you love me even when I don't always deserve it. You challenge me to be better, to be kinder, to be more patient. You are the heart of this family, and I never want you to doubt how deeply I love you. Joy was already wiping at her eyes when he looked up, his voice thick with emotion. I don't always have the right words, and I know I get caught up in work and life, but I see you, Joy. I see how hard you work, how much you give, and I never take it for granted. I love you, always. By the time he finished, Joy was openly crying. Not sad tears, no, these were the kind of tears that came from being so deeply, overwhelmingly loved. The power of love. Austin set the paper down and reached for her hand. I didn't mean to make you cry, he said with a small chuckle, though his own eyes glistened. Joy laughed through her tears, shaking her head. Austin, that was. She exhaled, struggling to find the words. That was the most beautiful thing you've ever said to me. He smiled, squeezing her hand. I just wanted you to know. And she did. More than ever. That night, under the twinkling lights, Joanna Duggar Forsythe was reminded of the depth of her husband's love, a love that, even in the quietest of moments, spoke volumes.